Good afternoon. It is Wednesday, November 14th, and welcome to the Panther News Network. I'm Chas Nolan.
I'm Carlton Lawrence.
And I'm Zenaria Bowens, and here's what's going on today.
The predatory gymnastics trainer Larry Nassar may have taken down USA Gymnastics with his reputation. Nassar was a doctor for the USA Gymnastics national team who was convicted of child molestation in 2017. On January 24th, Nassar was sentenced to 40 to 175 years in prison after pleading guilty to 7 counts of sexual assault toward minors. In the article published by The Cut, Carrie Howley, in awe of the USA Gymnastics team's reputation, tries to investigate how Nassar deceived so many people for so long. A relatively low-key coach, Kathy Clagg, expressed recently he would never do anything inappropriate. But victim Larissa Boyce, who was 10 years old when Nassar penetrated her with his hands, tells us otherwise. By fall 2018, almost 500 victims broke their silence by coming forward about Nassar. The U.S. Olympic Committee recently began the process of decertifying the United States of America Gymnastics. The organization is being held responsible for withholding information about Nassar for over a year. The former president of the organization was recently arrested for documents related to Nassar disappearing. Nassar is currently incarcerated at the Federal Transfer Center in Oklahoma City, with his earliest possible release being March 23rd of 2039.
Ohio authorities arrested 3 generations of a family on Tuesday in a connection with the execution-style murder of 8 members of another family at a marijuana farm in 2016. Parents George Billy Wagner III, 47, and Angela Wagner, 48, and their 2 sons, George Wagner V, 27, and Edward Jake Wagner, 26, were arrested by the Pike County Sheriff's Office on accusations they planned and carried out of murders of 8 members of the Roden family in April of 2016. The Rodens were found massacred on their family property, where authorities found evidence of marijuana grow operations. The crimes occurred in 3 mobile homes on Union Hill Road and another home a few miles away, a spokesperson from the Attorney General's office told NBC News. The Wagners were indicted by a grand jury on more than 80 criminal counts, including 8 counts of aggravated murder with death penalty specifications, authorities announced at Tuesday's afternoon news conference. The prosecutor said the Wagners were meticulous in plotting the deaths of the Roden family and covering their tracks.
Saudi Arabia will begin to reduce its oil supply next month in response to lower demand, and more cuts could be made next year. Minister Khalid Al-Falih states the kingdom's oil output will fall by 500,000 barrels per day in December. Members of the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, and its allies could further reduce supply if needed to. This past week, global oil prices have shifted to a bear market, down to 20% from their recent peak. The United States made a decision to allow some countries to continue to buy Iranian crude oil with the notion of limited supply. CEO Bob Dudley said the Saudi cut represented quite a bit of oil that probably would be adjusted to sentiment and get prices back into corridor with less volatility, he told CNN Business. A decision could be taken at the next OPEC meeting in Vienna on December 6th. The size of any potential cut would depend on how much demand growth slows down, how much Iranian supply falls due to U.S. sanctions, and how fast U.S. supply rises, said Giovanni Stanovio, an analysis at UBS. We're going to do everything we can to keep supply and demand inventories within a reasonable narrow band, Al-Falih said on Monday during a debate moderated by CNN Business's emerging markets editor John DeTerius. We hope that markets will calm down. The United States last week said 8 jurisdictions, China, India, Italy, Greece, Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, and Turkey, would be able to continue to buy Iranian oil for the 6 months without U.S. penalties under sanctions on trading with Iran.
The world of comic books has blown up in the 21st century, a few could have predicted. A lot of this is due to the tireless and standard bearer of this cultural revolution, Marvel Comics, and its colorful chairman and emeritus, Stan Lee. Lee, who passed away this week at the age of 95, is rightly credited as a comics visionary, but he was also devious and problematic, qualities mostly hidden by his talent and self-promotion. While complicated, however, Lee inarguably changed the face of our entertainment landscape, both in the niche of world comics and in the mainstream world of movies and television entertainment. Born in 1922, Lee spent his life in the comic and magazine world, but his breakthrough didn't come until the 1960s when he did already nearly 40 years old. It was that, along with the late Jack Kirby, Lee co-created the Fantastic Four. Together, Lee and Kirby would go on to create many comic titles still popular today, including the X-Men, Iron Man, Hulk, and Thor. Lee also collaborated with comic artists like Bill Everett and Steve Ditko. Lee and Ditko created what is arguably Marvel's most popular character, Spider-Man. Lee also laid the groundwork for the sort of online interactions between consumer and artists that fans take for granted today. His comic book creations, even if they were not his alone, came down to their pedestals to show human and relatable sides. Many of Lee's superheroes were portrayed as flawed people who just want to do the right thing, not demigods. This in turn enabled a film like Iron Man to flourish, even as two-dimensional idealists like Superman are having a harder time getting off the ground. Lee may have been mortal, but his ideas, like his superheroes, will never die.
And coming up next, regional and PV news.
The Prairie View A&M Naval ROTC program was established in March of 1968. So at that time, during the Vietnam War, it was compulsory to be involved in a military program. So Dr. A.I. Thomas, the president of the university, was interested in establishing a naval ROTC unit to complement the Army ROTC unit that was already on campus. Interestingly, at the same time, the Navy was interested in expanding the diversity of the Navy and Marine Corps, and particularly the Officer Corps. And so it was a natural fit, and Prairie View A&M The Prairie View A&M Naval ROTC program was established in March of 1968. So at that time, during the Vietnam War, it was compulsory to be involved in a military program. So Dr. A.I. Thomas, the president of the university, was interested in establishing a naval ROTC unit to complement the Army ROTC unit that was already on campus. Interestingly, at the same time, the Navy was interested in expanding the diversity of the Navy and Marine Corps, and particularly the Officer Corps. And so it was a natural fit, and Prairie View A&M in March of 1968 became the very first naval ROTC unit established at a historically black college or university here at Prairie View A&M.
Prairie View A&M University has always been somewhat of at the point on the frontiers of change. And the Naval ROTC program was again one of those programs that was implemented to keep us out on the point. They knew that they being Dr. Avenai Thomas and others knew that the Navy was a front runner and was pretty much an elite operation. And by allowing students from Prairie View to become a part of that would make us world-class leaders. And so the program was designed to take country boys like myself and expose them to a different world, a different set of values and rules and regulations. And we adapted and changed. It was a game changer for us.
Me personally, I can honestly say that I wouldn't be here without this program. I'm from a small country town in Arkansas with about 10,000 people. This gave me an opportunity to get outside of my comfort zone. Being 40 minutes from Houston, I never thought I would see myself here. I always knew that I would be on a college campus somewhere, but I never thought or even dreamed that I would be in the United States military, particularly the naval service. This has given me a platform to be able to reach back and be a provider amongst my family. I also got to travel and see tons of the world, which is something that a lot of people, they really enjoy.
My job as a professor of naval science is to develop young men and women mentally, morally, and physically as they get ready to commission into the United States Navy and the United States Navy. Here at Prairie View, what makes it special is our midshipmen. And so you think about a unit that now is 50 years old, that has produced over 400 young officers in the Navy and Marine Corps, and to date 3 flag officers, which is a remarkable accomplishment. So Vice Admiral David Brewer III, Rear Admiral Kelvin Dixon, and Rear Admiral O.C. Combs Jr. Tremendous accomplishment to have 3 flag officers from a unit that early.
So what makes this program unique is that we are the first HBCU to establish an ROTC. And with that, I feel that we have a lot of shoes to fill. With those 3 flag officers, I feel that there could be more. And with our diversity growing, I think that we can accomplish that.
It helped to mold officers and we used to say gentlemen, but gentle women and officers. It helped to mold us. It gave us, again, skills that we didn't really know about.
The product that Prairie View has been able to generate over the past few years since I've graduated and even before then has completely changed the dynamic of what we're producing for the fleet. Whenever you go somewhere now, your first ship, like myself, when I reported on board the USS Vandergrift, my weapons officer was a Prairie View graduate. So it's pretty nice to know that they're turning out products that are actually staying in to pursue their military career.
And I've met so many amazing people that want the same goal as me, and with that, I feel it just makes me want to be better as a person and hopefully bring that out of the Navy later in the future.
And I can't say what the next 50 years will hold when you think about modern warfare or what will be needed from a military service. But I do know that if we remain committed to ensuring that our midshipmen are able to think critically, to function as a team, to build individual resilience, to take the enormous amount of data that's available to them today and be able to sort through to get to what matters, to be able to problem solve in a complex and ambiguous world, that our Navy and Marine Corps is going to be in great shape over the next 50 years and beyond.
Welcome back. On the 4321 block of Montrose Boulevard in Houston, Texas, Bar Victor is inviting all students 21 years of age and older to their annual Rose Wednesday. The event lasts from 5 p.m. until 8 p.m. There will be a live DJ and $7 selective cocktails and glasses of wine. The specials that will be offered consist of the following: buy 1 glass or bottle of rosé and get 1 half off, along with a complimentary amuse-bouche. Bar Victor would like for you to stay on the lookout for the final days of this month to attend the event. Those dates are the following: November 21st and November 28th at 5 p.m. This is a deal that you do not want to miss. In local news, recent reports from the Houston Chronicle indicated a slight snowfall on Tuesday night and a possible snow freeze for today. Very few people were able to experience the flakes before they melted away. Molly Merrifield, a meteorologist in League City, states, with temperatures in the upper 30s, nothing is accumulating. This was the region's first freeze since January, with the exception of the coastal regions. The National Weather Service also issued a freeze warning that is expected to continue throughout today for the area. The weather for today consists of sunny skies with temperatures ranging from 30 to 50 degrees with winds up to 5 miles per hour.
Galveston is under a mandatory water restriction due to damaged water line. The city of Galveston found a water leak in the main line that distributes water to many individuals. The restriction started Monday and will continue till Saturday. Officials with the water authority said restriction schedules can change depending on the outcome of the assessment and repair plan. Officials said residents and business owners should avoid unnecessary water uses such as watering lawns and washing cars. Officials also suggested that individuals use water only for important purposes such as washing laundry or alter the water level. According to press release, there should not be any flushing of the city's fire hydrant system, and contractors working on city projects shall not provide any services that will conflict with the city's water conservation mode. The water line also served customers in Tiki Island, Bayou Vista, Hitchcock, and Santa Fe, as well as portions of La Marque, Dickerson, and League City.
A private school in Texas was ordered Wednesday to pay $68,000 in damages to a black girl's family 2 years after she returned from a 6th grade school trip with severe rope burns around her neck. In 2016, the girl's family sued the school in Waco after she accused 3 white classmates of wrapping the rope around her neck and dragging her to the ground. Arguing that the injury was the result of bullying, the lawyer for the family asked for $5.3 million in damages. The school maintained that her injury was an accident. The girl, identified only as KP in court documents, was 12 at the time and attending Live Oak Classical School in Waco when she took an end-of-the-year school trip to Johnson City, Texas. Upon her return, her mother, Sandy Ruffley, saw her daughter's injury and learned that it had been caused by a rope. Ms. Ruffley said in a 2016 interview, "That just tore me into pieces," she said. "It looked like somebody ripped my daughter's neck off and stitched it back together," Ms. Ruffley said. The lawsuit, which was filed in 2016, said the episode occurred at a swing that was hanging from a tree and had separated rope used to pull it higher. The girl said she was standing on one side when she felt the rope pull around her neck, violently jerking her to the ground. The girl said her classmates had bullied her before the school trip, according to the lawsuit.
If you're looking for one event or even event to step out to, there will be a day auction hosted by Spot tomorrow in A101 New Science, November 15th from 6 to 8.
An important notice has been reported to all Texas drivers. If you are paying more than $35 a month for your monthly car insurance, then you are probably being wrongfully charged. Drivers who have not received a ticket or who have not been involved in an accident in the past year are entitled to a large discount and can save up to $500 annually. Recent discoveries for the areas of Cypress and Prairie View, Texas, state that insurance companies make millions in extra income annually by making sure that this information isn't widely spread. The entire process takes about 3 minutes to complete. Insured Nation encourages everyone to never make a decision regarding your car insurance before checking multiple options. For more information regarding this topic, please visit www.insurednation.com. Dr. Austin Lane of Texas Southern University and Dr. Ruth Simmons of Prairie View A&M University will join the Defender's publisher and CEO Sonny Messiah Giles for a spirited and informative community event regarding the opportunities and challenges that HBCUs are facing today. The event is scheduled for November 29th at AMG Bank at 1717 West Loop South in Houston, Texas. A reception will begin at 5:30 p.m., followed by the program at 6:30 p.m. The topics of discussion will include student success and completion, how the community and alumni can help strengthen HBCUs, and a lot more. Students, alumni, business leaders, and members of the community are welcome to join and participate in the event.
Thank you for watching the Panther News Network and have a wonderful day.